It's a new football season and the kickoff is live every single weekend with the Roundtable Debate Show on the Kickoff YouTube channel. This weekend it's Manchester City versus Newcastle and we will be live from 7:30 Saturday night. We'll see you there. Harry Kane has moved to Bayern Munich. What do you think this means for Harry Kane's career right now?
I was gutted.
Really?
I have to say this. I was gutted. When the plane, it sounded like he didn't have permission to go because it looked... I don't know what was going on.
Daniel Levy was like, just one more thing.
And I really hoped that he was going to stay at Spurs and then just... free agent. It was going to be free agency and everyone was going to be gunning for him. But what he does, maybe the courting from Bayern Munich had to be fantastic because he's upped his whole family and they've gone there. It was a disappointment that he didn't win a trophy yesterday. Kind of wanted to... You can't...
Day one. There's a trophy.
You kind of wanted to just win so we can put to bed, listen, he's a winner now.
Let me just be honest and be like, his career's been mismanaged by himself and by his brother. He's been completely mismanaged as like a player that good. Shouldn't have been signed the additional contract at Tottenham. And if for any reason you find yourself still there at 29, you should be going to the top players, teams in Europe.
He did.
I would say Bayern Munich in the league that they're in are a bit like PSG. They may have a free crack at the Champions League. They may have a chance of winning it, absolutely. But they're not the top teams. There are teams above them that would make way more sense for someone like Harry Kane. And the fact that he's not there is a mismanagement of his career. I feel like he's gone there to pasture. I'm so sorry. Winning the German league and a domestic cup is not the vibes that we are talking about. It was about Harry Kane. I personally hate him more because of how good he is and the fact that he's a product of Tottenham.
Isn't that like a Premier League arrogance, though?
No, it's not.
Premier League arrogance.
No. The Premier League is the top league. Is the best league, and him staying there and joining Man United, which I would have hated also, and joining Man City or even Chelsea would have been the A move. And then also, if you're going to go abroad, there's no way you can tell me that Real Madrid and Barcelona wouldn't have been a better move for him. But the fact that he cannot and isn't involved in any of those teams might be slightly economical, but also the fact that he has been mismanaged his career means that he's now playing.
Is there any blame?
Huge club.
Is there any blame to go on Daniel Levy?
I think Kane wants this move. Like, he's all summer, the German press have been all over it, been really confident, even at a point where, again, the Premier League arrogance a little bit, like the English press arrogance of thinking, he won't go there. But they've gone all out for Harry Kane and been really confident of getting him. I think it's quite an exciting move. I know the Bundesliga is a good league. It's a strong league, and Bayern years ago were going for Champions Leagues, and they've not really done that in the last few seasons. So I think he goes there thinking, I can propel these to be in Champions League.
Why do we think that's a good league,
if you think about it, though, let's re-look at this. Dortmund, it went down to the last day of the season. You're talking. This is the
and then
Farmers,
what happened,
bro? This is the Farmers League. If you want to talk about a Farmers League, the Premier League, people watched City on Friday and said, "Yo, I don't know what we're gonna do. Let's just start thinking about second."
2-0 was game over.
This is the Farmers League, and then it is.
If you go to the European,
Man City
the
league,
teams that are in the last four of all the major European trophies, I think half of them were British. This is not the Farmers League. The levels are much higher in Britain.
It's a money thing now.
No, but now it's about the money thing. What I'm saying to you is that I'm not saying Bayern Munich are a small team by any stretch of the imagination. They're a great team. Absolutely. Bigger than Arsenal, great team. But I'm saying for Harry Kane, and if we wrote the destiny of Harry Kane, none of us would have wrote that he would have been at Bayern Munich as the highlight of his career. He could have and should have been at either Real Madrid, Barcelona, or one of the top 3-4 teams in England, and we would have had way more respect for that move for him and then going on and winning things. I'm saying it's a shock to us all, but I think he could have done better.
Is there any chance, obviously I think we know where Marvin's position is. Is there anyone who thinks Harry Kane regrets at the end of this that he moved to Bayern Munich and he didn't stay in the Premier League? He didn't stay and do the goal record. He didn't run his contract down and do the Man United move or wherever.
He'll be back at Spurs at the end of that 4-year contract. Harry Kane.
How old? He'd be 34 years old though. Then.
I think Harry Kane can go till 38, 39 because I think he's never been a player that's relied on explosive pace or anything like that. Teddy Sheringham, as for example, he went away from Spurs, went to Manchester United, then went back to Spurs. I would envisage that's what Kane would do, and I think that's why he has.
Do you think that you'll still break the record?
I would say
48 goals at 34
He
years
doesn't
old.
want you to say. He doesn't want you to say it, mate.
I do. I think
It's the one saving grace about all this for me. I've been sitting there going, aye, that's the record intact.
think you'll
Thank
do
you
it
very
now.
much. Enjoy yourself, Harry.
In 5 years' time, you personally won't even care about the record because Newcastle will have won something.
That's-
It won't,
I hope that's
that
right.
record won't bother you one bit. But Kane, he didn't want to go to another English club because of his loyalty and love for Tottenham. When you've been somewhere that long,
Do you think?
No, that's not the. I don't believe that's true. I don't think he was courted well. Like he knew that.
but he knows in
Levy-
12 months he can go anywhere, and he still chose
Yeah,
to do
but
it.
he thinks. I think that the charm offensive from Bayern was brilliant. As you said, it was in the papers. They really wanted him. They showed.
Well, they
desire
broke
for him.
the record, for the Bundesliga, yeah.
Unbelievable signing for Bayern.
I think the record before this was like 30 million less, so they really went above and beyond.
On that question that you asked on Levy, though, I think we have to. Even if Spurs fans won't like this, bro, he got 100 million for a guy in the final year of his contract. That's what you need.
29.
That's ridiculous. What he was able to do in terms of that's brilliant. Like now, if he is how he reinvests the money, will let us know if he's done well.
Do you not think that's the final card Levy could play though? Like I feel like Levy has held on to Harry Kane and built a team around him, and I use that term loosely because he hasn't, but he's used him as here's why you should come to Spurs. Now it's on you to actually build this side without Harry Kane hitting 30 goals in a season and see what you can do as a football chairman. Because to me, when you look at Spurs' defence last season, it was in the bottom 5. And they finished 8th, and let's be real, 95% of the reason they did was because of Harry Kane and those goals. So the question is what happens to Spurs now?
They tank.
I mean, they finished 8th last season with Harry Kane. I imagine they'll finish somewhere similar
I
again.
mean, let's say they replace some of the striker. How many goals are we
That's
saying?
the key.
How many goals?
The key is, who do they replace him with? And if they go get someone where we all sit around the table and feel like, I can see this, I 100% believe that they will maintain a top 6 stance. But to be completely honest, there aren't any strikers available. And besides, all the top 4 teams are just hoovering up talent.
If you were to look at the end of last season and the way Spurs were playing on form, and you look, and that's with Harry Kane doing it all on his own, they look like a relegation battling side.
Yeah.
Richarlison is going to be the striker this
Well, I mean,
Good luck, bad though.
Good luck.
I know people.
He starts for Brazil.
I know people laugh at Richarlison. Yeah, he's not the worst.
I think he'll suit the way
he's not.
Postecoglou plays. I think that's the key thing with Richarlison. If you were asking me to name a name, though, of a striker, and I thought this yesterday, I think I tweeted it actually, if they wanted a short-term, medium-term and long-term replacement Tottenham, they'd have to deal with Brighton, which no one wants to do.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you,
Ferguson.
Evan Ferguson is an absolute player.
I think he's too good for Tottenham, to be fair.
Is he not too expensive? Bearing in mind, they've already spent 180 million roughly, but obviously there's the sale of Kane. And look, if they brought in Ferguson and then you're thinking, well, Son and Maddison feeding Ferguson, okay, I can see how that,
They won't get him. He's like Rooney regen. He's not. There's no way he's going to Tottenham on earth. He'll go to one of the top 3-4 teams in the league. Hopefully Arsenal wake up and have a word with him.
I can think.
I love Evan Ferguson. I think he's amazing. But it's really Tony who's obviously not available
That's
for
the
4
player
months.
that everyone's going to be getting.
That's a great signing, and there just isn't many other options here domestically. So unless they find someone and pluck them from obscurity,
Don't
in
you
Europe.
think you guys will end up getting him for a player like Tony? I can see him.
Nah.
You don't think?
Just on the Kane thing though, how do we think this plays out? What, in the 4 or 5 years time, what are we looking back at Kane? Are we just saying 4 or 5 Bundesligas, or do we think the European Cup?
You'd think maybe a chance of one within 4 years.
Yep.
You'd think at least one.
They're defensively though. We need to see if Kim Min Jae's on point. We need to see because even that game yesterday wasn't good.
They got
Definitely not.
They're not, and even the time that they played against City, that was a hammering.
I think the goal for class is different, yeah. And look, Bayern Munich's team is actually sick. If you start laying out their pieces like Sane and they've got some incredible Gnabry, they've got some incredible players. My worry is that it's still a gulf behind what Manchester City are doing, and even what Arsenal look like they're about to be doing. So I feel that I don't think they'll get a Champions League, but they'll dominate Bundesliga more, and he'll get an absurd amount of goals, and I think he'll have a much better time than he did at Tottenham. But I don't think he's at the top table right now.
Where do we think Spurs will finish without Harry Kane? Without knowing if there's a direct replacement, we don't know that when we're saying this, but where do we think?
7th.
8th.
I think 8th as well. There are 7 better teams.
I think they might finish in the bottom half.
Wow.
No.
Yeah, yeah, they were absolute shit last season.
No, because Postecoglou doesn't have the same level of pressure, which is good for him. It's almost not saying he's got a free hit, but with Kane, there's real fan expectation.
I watched the game when they played against Barcelona. It was very, very good football. So I think his ideas around football are good. My worry is that he's not a great communicator and he says things that are questionable. So it makes me worry about his man management. Well, we've all seen the interview of him when he was Australia team manager and he went off on an absolute rant and sounded off the charts. Also, when he handed the captaincy to Son, the ramble that he gave was also pretty terrible. And so I worry about his man management and communication style more than anything else. But I'm optimistic for him. And I feel like sometimes when you just have a fixed 11 and it's tighter and you don't have Kane to build everything around, it just becomes clearer and easier. It's more consistent. So he could sneak a really good result. But
they've got a good result today. They've drawn at Brentford days after Kane's gone. Brentford's a tough place to go to.
No, it is. But you know, a good result would have been nicking a 1-0, showing your resilience, a new form of football, and that would have been like, oh, actually, there's something here. Drawing 2-2 with Brentford, I feel like shows that that's where they're going to get stuck. They're going to draw too many games.
If Spurs have a really bad run, where's the incentive for the fans to get behind the manager with no proven track record at this level at all? It's a lot easier to turn on a guy and he's not up to this, when in reality, he could be suffering from the lack of 30 Premier League goals a season in your team. So I do worry about him.